Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to be talking about lead nurturing today. So, what is lead nurturing? Lead nurturing is the process of keeping in touch with a prospect with informative and helpful information to help them kind of along their buying journey. So, I'm going to give you an example of a client that we built a lead nurturing sequence for. Stark's Barber Company here. This is their franchise recruitment website that we built for them. So this is, has all kinds of information, obviously, about the opportunity. But when somebody decides to take the next step and fill out a form on their website, like this one, then they automatically get put into a lead nurturing sequence. Our lead nurturing sequence, we also connect it to if somebody wants to say book a call through Calendly, we have a way of kind of connecting the software so that anytime somebody actually goes ahead and books a call, and they can also get put into the lead nurturing sequence. So in this case, with this client, they are doing a franchise recruitment campaign with Facebook, and they're also doing one with LinkedIn. So with LinkedIn, sometimes rather than filling out the form, the way that program works, sometimes people will actually book a call before they fill out a form, or they'll just check out the website and then book a call through Calendly. So that kind of covers your bases with the sequence being sent out to any prospect. So I will show you now kind of a little explanation of how the lead nurturing fits into the marketing and sales funnel. So if you look at this marketing funnel here, this exactly shows you how a prospect goes through the decision-making process of making a purchase. And this actually can apply to any industry. Anytime somebody is making a purchase, they usually go through these phases. So I'll just go through this. So lead generation, that's pretty straightforward. That's the various ways of going and trying to find prospects, whether that's with Facebook advertising, LinkedIn, Google, PR, radio, articles, content marketing, all the different ways that a lead can be reached out to. The second phase is the phase in which a person is trying to make a decision. So interest, consideration, and intent. So these are phases during which lead nurturing works really, really well, because they're basically at a stage where here they're just kind of finding out about something. Oh, okay, there's an opportunity available. Now they're kind of interested. In some cases, not everyone, of course, is interested, but in some cases there's interest. And then they're considering the opportunity, thinking about their lives, deciding if this is right for them, trying to sort of suss out the situation. And then there's the intent phase where they're trying to decide if they want to actually go ahead and do something about it. And then there's evaluation again, because sometimes after that phase, when they're actually planning to do something, they now need to get more information to really decide on on whether they want to move forward. And of course, the purchase phase, which is the sale. So this is just to kind of explain the need for lead nurturing, because there is a phase where somebody is not sure yet and they are kind of evaluating. Lead nurturing really helps people along that journey. I think this is especially important for franchise recruitment for a couple of reasons. First of all, buying a franchise is a very large decision for people. It's a life change. It's a financial decision. In some cases, it's a large financial commitment. In some cases, less. But it always is there is some financial commitment for sure. It's something that they're going to really have to put a lot of effort into. So it requires even more thought than, say, buying a pair of shoes online. So there is more of a need for information gathering and trust building with a prospect. Also, with a lot of lead generation techniques like, say, Facebook advertising or PR or radio ads, all that kind of thing, you are actually doing what's called outreach to that person. So in other words, this is a different kind of lead than somebody who has thought about your brand and said, I want to go and see on their website if there are franchise opportunities, because they are at a point there where they're really already at they're much lower down in this sales funnel. They are at a point where they're thinking of really buying a franchise with your particular brand. Or if they're a customer of yours and they already know your brand and they've been thinking about this for a while, they're much easier to sell to because they already are at they're much further along their decision-making process. So because a lot of techniques for franchise recruitment involve outreach, they need more of this nurturing. because they have been approached and they may not have been thinking of that opportunity at that time in their life. So they need more time to make that decision. So I'm going to show you a little more on how this kind of looks technically. Okay, so let's go up here. So this is showing you an example of the email sequence that we built for Starks. So we do 15 emails, and they are basically spread out throughout a year. So why 15? 15 is because we like to do 3 more frequently at the beginning of the year, because it's a kind of a, they're at an earlier stage. They've just inquired. You want to kind of catch people earlier on a little bit more. And then we do 1 email a month after that throughout a year. Now, you really, ideally, you keep in touch with people even longer than a year. But if you decide that you want to do something longer than that, then it's a good idea to kind of keep that going. So the way this works is the first email is kind of a welcome introduction. So usually they receive this after they filled out a form or booked a call. It's just thanks for inquiring. It's just your basic welcome, thank you. Then the messages turn into giving people really good, informative, brand building, educational information about your opportunity. So it's not about trying to get them on a call and following up, which is an important piece as well once a lead comes in, but that's separate. That's what the salesperson is doing to try to get in touch with somebody. This is about just giving them more information. And there's also a call to action at the end of every one. This isn't showing up here, but we do add a call to action at the end of every email saying, if you want to know more, reach out to so-and-so, here's their phone number, here's their email, etc. So this is a story. So these emails all have different information. So this one is, for example, talking about their story. So the founders of Starks, Steve Tallis and Ryan, his partner, why did they start this business? Because they were in the rat, they were tired of the rat race. They were tired of the corporate world. They felt like something was missing in their life. They wanted more time for family, etc. So this is telling their story and why they've realized that this was such a great opportunity. So again, connecting with people. A lot of people are going to be able to relate to this, and that's why this kind of thing works, because it's about connecting with people and them sort of seeing themselves in this situation. So other emails talk about, their customer experience, why this is a great industry. So a little more on the business side. Dual revenue streams. Of course, building equity is always a big motivator for people who are buying a franchise. So talking about that side of things, the revenue. Client testimonials. This is giving sort of affirmation, showing the customer they have happy customers, and this is a well-run business. Here's another success story from an actual franchisee. So telling their story about a couple. So again, could connect with somebody, a couple that opened one together. And then just working on your business, not in your business. What does it look like to own a Starks franchise, and what owning a business is all about. The tools that they offer, online scheduling, benefits from years of proven experience and systems. Again, building that trust and the fact that they're going to be well supported in their journey. Then a little more about their culture and their brand, and more about prime locations available, the fact that they offer support with designing their stores, which is a really important aspect of this brand, is they designing stores that have a certain look and feel. And then just more about sort of the bigger picture stuff, charities and causes that they support. The last piece I'm going to show you here is, this is where we actually set up your whole back end system for you. So this is, without getting into a lot of detail, but this is kind of a flow chart that we build for our customers that shows how the messaging sequence goes through. So it's sort of separated by certain timelines, and based on if this person does this action, then this happens. So it's kind of interesting. It's basically a whole process of getting the back-end email automation program working. And all this happens without you having to lift a finger. This is just happening in the back end. Somebody signs up, this automatically happens. They fill up your pipeline with leads, and that's just going on without you having to do anything. Other things that are really interesting about this tool is that you can actually go and look at the behavior of each prospect that comes through this pipeline. So I'm not going to show you this because I don't want to show people's emails just for privacy purposes, but you can actually go into your contacts and everybody who goes through this and actually see how many times does each person open it up. open up each email, because basically that's going to show you how much interest they have. So if Mike Smith gets your email and he opens it up 5 times every time and he clicks on every single link, you know that prospect's interested because they're really reading this multiple times, they're considering it, and it might be time to reach out. So this is a great tool for your sales team to be able to go in and actually evaluate the behavior of the person receiving these. If they're never opening it, maybe they're not interested. If they're opening it frequently or every single time, it might be worth sending a personal email and saying, I just wanted to check in and make sure to see if you want to have a call, if you want to, you have any questions you need answered, etc. So, and of course, this tool has a CRM system, so it's really great for your sales team to stay organized. So that kind of gives you a little background on how this whole process works. And of course, if you ever have any questions about this program or any comments, feel free to reach out.